you still have the same problem of just being overwhelmed by choice, right? And so that's one of the reasons why when people tell me, oh, we should have a new law, I say, listen, government's not coming to save you. And that's one of it's the entire premise of Humanable, which is we actually have a certification mark where that artist certifies their music as free from generative AI. And the goal is to have enough art forms certified by Humanable so that we can go to the content pushers, right? The social media outfits, the DSPs, and say, install our toggle so that the human can go in, push one button, filter in the human stuff. We don't have to filter out the AI stuff or mark it. It just filter in the human stuff so the consumers can find the human stuff and give humans a real chance to make a decision about what they're exposed to, right? And if I was a parent, I would be pushing super hard for this because there's no accountability. If somebody uses a song or a book or something else and it's, not great for kids, that's one thing. There's some accountability. But if robots are doing it and who knows where it's coming from, no accountability. So that's kind of the premise. But I think we want to go back and set the table a little bit because I keep using words like trademark and copyright, and you want to talk about the differences between those. I don't want to hijack your agenda.
Ooh, well, first, I would love to have clarity in definitions of words. So if people have absolutely no idea what these mean,
right?
Like I don't want to assume they're 5 years old, but I want everybody to understand it.
Yeah.
So what is a copyright?
Yeah. So great. We'll do some basic definitions. Copyrights protect a work of art in a fixed medium. In other words, a copyright will protect a statue chipped out of marble. It will not protect an ice sculpture because ice melts. It's not in a fixed medium.
Interesting.
Right?
Really?
I could come up with a poem right now, say it out loud, and as long as it wasn't being recorded by that camera, right, it wouldn't have copyright protection. But if it's recorded by that camera, it does, because it is in a fixed medium.
A question.
Yes.
I'm walking down the road. Somebody's walking a dog, and they're whistling a tune. I'm like, that is a cool tune. I go home and whistle that back created song. Who owns that?
Well, it depends on whether or not they've got it down in a fixed medium already.
Okay, I see.
Right. So just because it's performed in a non-fixed medium doesn't mean that it loses copyright protection, or else we wouldn't have concerts.
Interesting.
Right?
How do you prove that? Do you really have to register it in the Copyright Gov?
So you can prove that in any number of ways, right? Back in the day, people would mail a copy of their song and then to themselves and then never open it, and they had a postmark on it. And I still get that question a lot. Should I mail this to myself? I'm like, I mean, you can, but probably one of the best ways to prove it is just to have the, save it as a file, right, in your cloud drive, because each file is marked with the date and time that it's created, right? It's all in the metadata. So there's all kinds of ways to prove when that copyright first came into being. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's copyright, and that we think about in terms of the arts. But we're going to explain a little bit later, I think, about how copyrights are kind of on the wane in the arts and trademarks are on the rise. Trademarks are different from copyrights. Trademarks are about source origin. They're brands, right? And so when you think about a trademark, you don't say, wow, I took a flight the other day and it was on the mainline carrier based out of Atlanta that flies primarily out of Hartsfield but has other hubs. That's too long, right? So trademarks are nicknames. And so we say, I took a flight, it was on Delta, right? So Delta, the trademark, is a nickname for that entire complex, super safe operation. Thousands and thousands of flights a day, millions of people being moved all over the globe. And yes, Delta Airlines, I do have your Amex card. Yeah, if you're watching. Sponsor Humanable.
I like the way you think.
I know. But anyway, so that's a nickname, right? And then we also have this sort of counterpart for domain names, which are also nicknames, right? Domain names are just a human helping humans who most of us don't think in numbers. Some do, but every website has an IP address associated with it, right? But I may not remember 116.114.12.5678.19, right, as a way to go to that website. If I could remember the IP address, the Internet Protocol address, then I could navigate that way, but I'm not built that way. Some humans are, but very few. So instead, I remember the nickname Delta.com.